Hello, we're going to go over the rest of the timeline. So if you would please plot line. If you take out your plot line, I'm going to go over this with you and have you write down where we left off. So we left off at the end of Act 3.4. We have a lot of stuff to catch up on Act 4. Okay, so in number 4, Romeo and Juliet part and Juliet denies marriage to Paris. Then, in Act 4, Scene 1, Friar Lawrence sometimes it's spelled L-A-U-R-E-N-C-A and sometimes it's spelled L-A-W. I think this is the American way. Friar Lawrence arrives at a plan. And this is in 4.1. So the plan is that he's going to give Juliet a potion that will make her appear in a coma for 42 hours. During this time, he's going to send word to Romeo, who's in Mantua, banished. And then Romeo will meet Juliet in the tomb before she wakes up. Well, as she's waking up, I should say. The next thing in number 6 is Juliet agrees to marry Paris. You gotta write small on this one. Takes the potion. And fakes her death. And this is in 4.2 through 5. So it's in scene 2 through 5. In the 7th thing, you can pause the video too if you need to give students more time to write. Number 7, Romeo hears the incorrect news. Buys poison. And goes to Juliet's tomb. And this happens in Act 5.1. Act 5, Scene 1. Then after he goes to the tomb, he fights with Paris, kills him, and himself as Juliet awakens. And this is 5.2. And then finally the catastrophe is the death of Romeo and Juliet. And that, of course, is in 5.3. So that concludes our timeline. Now, on your final test, it does ask you about some events that take place within the play. So hopefully you have all of these recorded. If you don't have all of these plot lines recorded, please make sure that you find someone who does and get these filled in. Okay, you can pause the video if students need more time to write these in. The next thing we need to talk about then is the timeline. So we started, that's hooked onto your packet. We were at Act 5 with this. In Act 5, we're going to really condense it. In Juliet's tomb, a despairing Romeo takes poison. As Juliet awakens, the star-crossed lovers, STAR, are united at last in death. So that concludes Act 5. Now before that, there's a few other things that happen. Romeo buys poison, he goes to the tomb, he fights with Paris, he kills Paris, then he kills himself. You can write all that in. It's already on our plot, but this is essentially what happens. So if you see the whole play, starts on Sunday in the morning and ends on Thursday late at night. Alright, again, you can pause the video if students need more time to write these things down. Now you guys be studying these, please, because there are questions on the final test about the timeline as well as the plot.